Nathan, how you doing? How you doing?
Well.
So you're the CEO of this fund that we're doing today, right?
Yes, I am. I'm actually the founder and the president and CEO of Project Meridian Foundation.
Okay. So could you tell people in Staten Island, New York, and Brooklyn what this is about?
Absolutely. What we're doing is we're actually bringing the awareness about human trafficking and combating that human trafficking of women and children that are forced in the sex trade. And this isn't just about kids or young women that are being brought in from other countries right here.
Right.
And we're talking right in Staten Island here in Manhattan. I mean, we're talking it's happening right in your own backyard with American kids. You know, I mean, you look at the average age in the United States right now is between 13 and 17.
13, 7, right.
Over 1 million.
Wow.
And that's throughout the entire United States.
Yeah.
So I mean, you do the numbers. Is that an epidemic?
Yeah, yeah. So what got you to fund this event? Like, what got you into this foundation?
Well, back in 2002, I've been in the military. I was in the United States Air Force. I'm a disabled veteran. Worked in the medical profession up in New Jersey actually for a while, and I just was seeking. You know, it's like something's missing inside. You know, and I didn't know what it was. I was talking to some friends of mine, and a friend of mine was just getting his third star pinned on down at Camp Lejeune, and I talked to his wife, and she said, "Have you asked God what you're supposed to do?" And I'm like, "Well, that's a good concept, being a preacher's kid and a radical one at that." And at that point, I went out and started just deliberating, just reflecting back on things, and I started just writing down about needing facilities for men, women, and children that have been sexually abused. I had no idea really what I was doing.
Right. So you
And
learned as you went along.
I got the vision, and I took off for Washington, D.C.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, doors were flying open. I ended up going to the Pentagon. I started going to the White House. People were inviting me straight away. I mean, this is in 2 days. How in the world in 2 days you get invited to go to the White House?
Yeah.
It just happened. Meeting very big leaders and, generals and the Joint Chiefs, as well as meeting and getting a connection with a guy named Senator Brownback from Kansas.
Right.
I was asked to be on his committee after meeting him for 3 years.
Okay.
But after 3 months in that meeting, there was a guy named Ambassador John Miller. Came in, he was from State Department, Trafficking in Persons Office, and he started speaking on it. And all of a sudden, after that 3 months, I heard it. Him say about the victims, what's happening, the rapes that are taking place for someone else's profit.
Wow.
And it hit me in the middle of me, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to do this.
Wow.
So in 2003, I started this foundation.
Yeah. So is this the first time you're doing it, or on Staten Island, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's my first time in Staten Island, New York.
Right.
I'm happy to be here. It's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
And, the biggest thing is bringing awareness to your community. I appreciate you guys being able to bring that word out there because it does take the media to really speak the truth.
Right.
And we have a major issue that we really need to get out to people.
Right.
And especially to warn. Not to cause any fear, but just let them know what's happening in our malls, on the school grounds. I don't know if anybody saw the movie Taken. It's a very good movie. And it's,
I love that. I love that movie.
And then also the movie Human Trafficking, it came out in 2005 with Lifetime. That's true, factual stories, folks.
Wow.
And it's hard to watch, but people need to watch these things and they need to know what's aware. But we got to, most of all, let our kids know what's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the targets.
Wow.
So why aren't we bringing the information to them? Well, we are. We're going to high schools now. We're going to universities.
Right.
I spoke at Georgetown University twice. We're looking at speaking at more universities around the nation, including William & Mary, also UC Irvine out in California. We'd like to come out here to New York. We'd love to come out to Staten Island, talk to your legislators, to your government, and say, here, we can train your law enforcement to learn a new way that we're not looking at children under the age of 18 classed as a prostitute when we need to start screening them as a victim and find out if they truly are victims. Because I don't know, and you don't know, how many people ever raise their hands and their kids saying, I want to wake up to be a prostitute the next morning?
Yeah.
Nobody ever does. But there's always something that happens.
Something that happens, and you're trying to stop that, preventing it, right?
Absolutely. As much as we can do to be able to build also the awareness, we want what our goal right now, and one reason we're having this, is to build the very first of its kind safe house to take these victims to, that they can get the proper medical and psychological care they need immediately. Right. It's so important. I mean, can you imagine being raped maybe 10, 20, 30 times a day for someone else's profit?
Wow.
Against your will.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big issue.
Yeah, it is. And people, till now, they didn't take it that serious, right? I mean, it hasn't been a serious issue, right?
No, it really hasn't. And I think the media's actually lost their place on this. I mean, they'll choose something here and there, talk about somebody that came across the border, but they haven't really hit the real main topic. Now, I know there's some other stations that are trying to get there, but we have got to be that. When it comes to a child, or maybe it's your grandchild or your friend's child that's taken, that's raped, maybe it's time that we wake up and say maybe children are more important. And when we're looking at the very worst sexual abuse that I can believe could be documented.
Right.
Because when you instill fear into a child, that's a pretty deep scar.
Yeah.
And they're afraid to run, including a young woman. I mean, this age just doesn't stop at 18.
Right.
It goes up to the age of 26.
Wow.
And we've worked with victims that are that age at 19, 20. You know, and we've got to teach our kids it's not like it used to be.
Yeah.
We can't run down to Cancun and do a little vacation anymore.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's a bad place for pedophiles. Actually, the fastest growing location in the world now for men for little pedophilia.
Wow.
And that's the average age.
No, but yeah, so that's awareness to web parents about that, right?
Yeah, you know, you need to know where you're going to go on vacation.
Yeah.
You got to go to the State Department, look it on their travel reports, see what's going on in that country. Make sure that you know. If you don't know, contact us. We'll be glad to tell you what's happening.
Wow.
You know, that's what we got to do. We have to be aware of our
All
surroundings.
right, so they would contact you at the Project Meridian Foundation, and you can get it on the website, right?
Right, projectmeridianfoundation.org.
.org.
Yeah, you can Google Project Meridian Foundation.
Yeah.
Get right to us. You can also contact us at area code 202-257-0987.
Okay.
Never buy a CD.